So we had a client recently inside our leadership program that came to us predominantly running an auction-based business and having a challenge that I see people. They have either auctions that pass in, number one, or we don't have bidders that turn up. One of the things I talked about with this client was back in my own business, the journey many years ago, was that when we had our team and would have 5 auctions, let's call it, on a Saturday, and agent 1 would have 4 bidders on that, agent 2 would have 3 bidders on that, etc, etc. And we'd turn up to the auction day the next day, and the one that we thought we had 4 bidders on only had 1. The one that we thought we had 3 bidders on had 0. And the agents would get frustrated, they'd get flustered. And I've always thought there's just got to be a better way to build a system to make sure we can have a high amount of confidence to be able to turn up to auction day and get the result that our clients want, but we want, but also remove that frustration and tension that the agents have. So we developed what we call this bidder magnet system. So I'm going to take you through. And what it's designed to do, I say to businesses, is if we get these steps right, I used to have a saying to my team that the day before auction, we should be playing golf. And what I mean by that is that you're relaxed, you've done all the work, you've done all the steps. You're not doing what I see other agents do when they don't get it right. In the last couple of days before auction, they're running around, they're flustered, they're trying to find bidders, and they're trying to put pressure on people, and ultimately they turn up to auction day and have no bidders. So it's these 10 steps that I talk about. So if you think about this is the last period before auction day. And some of these things might seem simple, but I believe it's the engagement process is one of the key parts to lock this in. We have 10 areas that I'm going to take you through now that we ask our teams and agents to be able to tick a box with a bidder. So think about, you got one potential bidder on an upcoming auction, and it's these 10 steps that you got to focus on. Number 1 is, have they submitted an offer? Number 2 is, have we referred them to a mortgage broker? Number 3, building or pest. We go into number 4, which is a call. So as we go through these steps, just to give you more self-explanatory, have they made an offer prior to the auction? Have you referred them to a mortgage broker to get a second opinion on finance? Have they requested a building and pest inspection? And/or we've encouraged them to get that, because what I know from experience is the more of these boxes they tick, the more qualified they're going to be as a bidder. Independent phone call. So have they called you directly to ask you questions about the auction? We talk about, next one, legal docs. So have you communicated to them about getting the legal docs across? Next one, we call about deposit, settlement. And these next two, bear with my messy writing, these next two are quite important. The deposit and settlement. So you think about 10% deposit, 60-day settlement, pretty much that's the norm on a lot of auctions. What we do inside this system, we teach people, is to get your bidders to actually vary these terms. So maybe have a smaller deposit, get the permission off your clients at the start of the campaign, because it locks them further into the process. The settlement, again, we're trying to get them to vary the settlement terms. And in the engagement system, we take people through, and it's a clear day-to-day implementation plan we give our clients in our program. It's about asking the right questions to get these boxes ticked. We go on with the settlement, second inspection, pre-auction meeting, and the last one being a reserve conversation. So have they requested a second inspection? You had a pre-auction meeting with that bidder. Now that might sound strange, or a lot of people don't do this, but you have to get them for a coffee or into your office and have a conversation about what they need to expect around auction day. What happens with the auctioneer, what happens with bidding, what happens when you're going to go and talk to them. And the last one is a conversation about the reserve. And again, in the engagement process we use with clients here inside our program, what we want to be able to do is we look at these 10 areas through in here. We want to get 6 out of 10 or 60% with a tick that runs right through this system. What I know from experience is this: if you get a buyer to tick 6 out of these 10 boxes, they'll turn up and do what you want and be able to put your hand up. And you move yourself away from this area in here, what I call the scramble. The scramble, when you haven't done this work, you're trying to do all this in the space of 1 or 2 days, you're flustered, and you just can't do that in a period of time. The success rate we've had with clients on this is phenomenal, especially as leaders inside their business. They've been able to drive better clearance under the hammer, number 1. The second point, which is a big one inside our training program, is about the average bidders we have per auction. Because I'm a believer that your role as an auction agent isn't to find the buyer, it's to gather bidders. And this is what this system does, to be able to gather bidders, to create more competition, to ultimately get a better result for your client. Implement the bidder magnet system into your business and watch things change and watch your business grow. So if your business is in a similar position where you're struggling to make listings or make sales, we're opening up places in our leadership program. But what we do is we get you together, we do a 2-tiered assessment, and ultimately what you come up with is an implementation strategy to grow your business in the next 12 months. Either send us a DM or book in for a call and we'll talk about the next steps.